because item cards can get locked up pretty easily. Seismitoad is still someone who is terrifying in this, which is why I wanted that other match I had recorded earlier against a Night March deck, but unfortunately I didn't record it. I figured the two guys that get knocked discard pile, Zorua, Tapu Lele, maybe I can still make the most of a GX ability. And then we see this Pidgeotto EX mirror move. If this Pokemon was damaged by an attack during your opponent's turn, then it also does the equal amount of damage back, I think is what it said in there in that description. Parallel City will remain a staple in many decks like this. I either want to stall or cripple resources. But like I said, at this point, they weren't able to evolve that Trubbish. I was feeling in a pretty good spot. I wasn't even worrying about trying to knock out that Pidgeotto. My goal, again, was still just to try to knock out that Trubbish. So I still have my abilities online. But before I go further, I go ahead and treat this Cyrus basically like a Cynthia at this point. I'm able to get some fresh cards in my hand, and I get this bad boy right here, Macargo. I run currently just a 1/1 line Macargo. That could change. That could. I played against decks who run it very efficiently. If you have 2 Macargos on your bench, man, just being able to just search your deck for any 2 cards. But right now, I just don't know what else I want to remove in space. You'll see something else on there. You'll see Lusamine down there. That girl, she's good, but I'm not crazy about it. Because it's a supporter card, you know. But right now we don't have, with Puzzle Time being rotated out, we don't have a lot of things anymore that recycle things back into your deck. So I have it mainly there to have Skyfield in case I do need to get it back at any point later in the match. But right now, I'm rocking 3 of those, so even in a given match, I don't know how necessary it has to have Lusamine, but I am able to get back a supporter card, so it can also, in a pinch, obviously, of course, I would be playing that naturally in the first turn. And right here, I'm just trying to get stacked up. Basically, I kind of call this like the royal flush or the perfect hit. Basically, when Zork GX with Skyfield, the maximum you can do with the bunch setup is 180. And then if you happen to have a choice band, the max you can do with Zork GX is a whopping 210, which is absolutely fantastic. A fantastic hit. And basically, right now, I'm just trying to get my bench stacked up, and I feel pretty good even at this point. I have my Exeggcutes. I kind of have another philosophy. If I do not have to put my Exeggcutes out on the bench, I do not like to put them out there. But since my opponent was working that Pidgeotto EX deck, it allows my opponent to hit 20 damage on the bench for any of those guys. Those Exeggcutes fall under that target really well, and there's plenty of Pokemon out there that can do even 30 damage to bench Pokemon like Buzzwole GX. So I hate setting them out there, but at this point of the match, I was feeling pretty confident that I might be able to get a win now. I never go with that mindset though of trying to get cocky. I try to think, you want to try it. It's kind of like chess. You don't want to just think about trying to knock out the one Pokemon. You gotta really prepare at least for how your opponent's going to respond and what you're going to do in response to that. Trying to think as many turns ahead as you can. And at this point, I figured they might maybe I had already knocked out. I probably had already knocked out all their other guard borders. So at this point, the only way they were going to get anything back was with a rescue stretcher. They do end up playing a rescue stretcher in a little bit. So at this point, they evolved that guard border into this guard border. I forget what this one is from. I think it's from. Is it from Sun and Moon? I don't remember. But this one, clearly, it's more than enough damage to knock out my Zork. Plus, with the choice band, I think it ends up going for 130, I think, is how many items plus the choice band. So enough to knock out Zork. But not by much either, really, though, because Zork also does have a little bit of resistance. But at this point in the match, I was feeling pretty good, because the one thing I would need, if he gets knocked out, there's a couple things I could go for here. I could go for Guzma to try to draw out a Tapu Lele, attack for 180. So I might have, had they been able to get out maybe one of the other guard borders just a little bit sooner, they probably could have stalled it for at least one more turn. Because without Macargo's ability, without either my Zork's ability, I would have probably had to knock out 2 of their weaker guys. I don't think I would have been able to probably knock it out. Or I probably would have done that, but maybe they didn't have the rescue stretcher in there. I would have to look back at that and see. But fellow trainers, things are going really, really well right now. My matches have been pretty solid. I really like this deck list. This is a deck that I could be using in the coming months, but I want to experiment with some other decks too. So you made it this point in the video. If there's any decks that you're like really excited about that you're working with, let me know that down in the comments below. Maybe I'll try to experiment with them, other things as well. I want to try. God, it just comes down to time getting the cards online. I'm in a good place where I can really acquire most cards I need to for the online trading card game in terms of what I need to trade for other things or getting booster packs and stuff in a timely manner. But it comes down to then deciding if I want to commit to buying the cards in real life, which is why I lean towards Zork Executive, because for the most part, I had most of the resources already when I decided to make this deck. So this is the deck I'm currently using at League and stuff when I'm playing with other buddies. But another one I really want to try, just kind of the wild card that's out there. I think Rayquaza GX looks like a lot of fun. I'd love to experiment with that a little bit. Those guys are kind of a little on the pricier side right now, but nothing too crazy. So how I'm wrapping up this match, there's a number of ways I could have wrapped this up, but I just go from Macargo, either VS Seeker to Guzma, or just, I couldn't remember at this moment if Guzma was straight in my deck, and then attacking a Tapu Lele, one of his exposed Tapu Leles that are out on the bench. That's where this match goes, and like I said, I have been overwhelmed by the positive response in the comment section down below. So at this point in the video, if you've made it to this point in the video, I've been doing this, I've sent a couple people extra codes, it's just a way for me to say if you actually made it to this point in the video. Today, type down in the comment section, type down shaman. Let's do shaman. That'll be a good one. That'll be today's like keyword of the day that I know that some people actually have made it at this point in the video. So thank you so much, and hopefully I start turning these into live streams, which will be just basically the same thing, just fun little hangout sections. I will talk about Pokemon. That's how everyone's day is going, and hopefully I want to be able to do giveaways and other things like that, but I just want to make sure I can orchestrate those in a timely and efficient manner. With all that, fellow trainers, I hope you're having a fantastic what's today? It's Monday. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday or Tuesday if you're when you're watching this. I upload new Pokemon videos to YouTube every single day, and I will see you tomorrow as always.